Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of My Garage Roleplay. Alright, so as you can see, I'm just having a little bit of a seat on the desk, well, behind the desk. That's because I had a bit of work this morning and a customer brought in their Mercedes. And I just need to tighten up the last two bolts on these shock absorbers before I forget. So I brought the car down and pushed it back a little bit, and this job is pretty much done. So there's a little bit of news about the shop and the future thereof, as well as a couple of other things that you see that has happened around here. Let me just call the customer quickly and let her pick up her car. Alright, so getting back to the shop and everything that's going on here. So I had to move a couple of things around and I decided to put my desk over here. And basically the Chevelle is parked here for now. This Pontiac Firebird is actually, it's basically standing on only one wheel at the moment. Because I had to take a wheel off for the other one, which I will show you guys in a bit. It's just here behind the workshop. So this car actually runs and it sort of drives, but I had to obviously mount the wheel at the back here, and there was a couple of things that I had to do. I had to take the battery from the Chevelle to get this thing running. So there's a couple of things that actually happened. So the sheriff, Middletown sheriff, actually came to see me yesterday. And he's got a very nice job for me actually. So he wants me to commission some vehicles for the police force. In other words, they are going to be buying cheap cars from a used car lot, and I have to fix them up and get them in full running spec so that they can be mounted with the police lights and put stickers on and everything. So we're gonna basically be building the cars for them, and he told me that we need to install 1.8 liter engines with turbochargers. So that is the requirement for the police force at this stage. So it's going to be a couple of lad sedans, pretty much the same as the one we have, but just a 4-door version, obviously for the police force. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how many vehicles they want to commission eventually. So on another note, I also managed to get our trailer somewhat working. So I've got some wheel hubs from the shop in town, and I fitted the wheels and also this floor. They were selling these floorboards there, so I just had to pick up one of those because I actually need to go over to Uncle Richie's shop to collect a couple of things. And I might actually have to get a battery for this car eventually. So we're gonna probably go past the shop and just pick up a battery, and then I think I'm gonna start working on this thing until the first car for the police officer, for the police force arrives. So I guess we'll see when that is going to basically start. So in terms of the Chevy El Camino, the people who stole it, the sheriff did come and speak to me about that as well. He said that they did manage to catch one of the guys, but they don't think he is the organizer. So they managed to get some fingerprints off the El Camino. Thank goodness the thing was a little bit dirty, so they left a couple of fingerprints on it. So they managed to track down this one guy and they arrested him. But they've got a feeling that he's not the the kingpin in the whole operation. So I'm not too sure, but we'll just try and keep all of our things locked up at night. So that's why I want to get the battery for that car, so that we can at least pull it indoors and at least have everything locked up at night. And also when we leave the shop, I need to be sure to close the doors and make sure that I lock up behind me. So that is pretty much what I'm going to do. So I just hope nothing's going to happen to my Firebird outside, but I'm sure it will be fine because it's not really running at the moment. Because it looks like these guys are stealing cars that are in running condition. So we're gonna hop into the little lad coop over here, and we're gonna make our way over to Uncle Richie's shop. It's gonna be quite a bit of a drive, so yeah, we're gonna tackle on this journey and see if we can go and fetch a couple of things at Uncle Richard's shop. Alright, and we are off, basically on our way. So yeah, we are going to collect a couple of things from Uncle Richard's shop today. Basically the wheel mounter, as well as the couple of rims that he had laying around, as well as the engine stand, because obviously he's not going to be focusing on building engines anymore. That is why we opened our own shop. And yeah, I really need to upgrade this car a little bit at some point, because it's very down on power, especially towing this small trailer behind us. But I'm sure we will get there eventually, so I will catch up with you guys once I get there. Alright, and we have arrived, and yeah, this was quite a long drive of this little 1.3 liter. I see the wheels have actually started rolling around. I don't know what happened here, so we'll see. Maybe Uncle Richie was a bit mad, just threw his stuff around. I just wanted to check if this handbrake is down, because this car's been pulling very tough. I think maybe we've got a bit of a flat tire as well, so I might actually just see if I can pump up the wheels a bit. So yeah, here is the old poor shop truck. So I did put the old engine from the F100 in this, as well as the old transmission. So, but I'm not sure if this thing is really fixable. Maybe one day we'll ask Uncle Richard for this, if we can buy it off him once we have a bit of extra money, because I think it will be nice if we can get this thing running again. But yeah, at the moment we're gonna have to make do with our little trailer over there. So I just want to pump up my wheels quickly on the little ladder, and then we'll get all this stuff loaded. Okay, so with our wheels pumped, now I can finally start loading the stuff onto the trailer. So luckily we have this move tool over here at Uncle Richie's shop. So yeah, we can try and fit everything on here. I just hope it's gonna stay put on this little trailer. This machine is probably the heaviest, but with this tool it's possible to lift it. Alright, there we go. Should just see if this is going to stay still. I believe that should be okay. Alright, so as for the wheels, yeah, we're gonna see if we can fit them inside the car, in the trunk, and on the, well, where the back seat is supposed to be. I think that'll be probably our best bet over here. So let's see, because Uncle Richard said he wants to start cleaning up the shop, so he doesn't want the stuff laying around. So yeah, it's coming with us, I guess. Alright, so we're gonna grab everything. Alright, so yeah, everything is loaded in the car, and we've got the engine stand and the tire changer on the back of the trailer. So we are gonna try and make our way over to the shop quickly, and just gonna pick up a battery for the Pontiac Firebird, and then we'll make our way back to our little barn, and then yeah, we'll try and get the Firebird running so that we can start having a look at it properly. Alright, so there we have our battery. We are ready to set off. So hopefully we will make this trip all the way back to the shop or our barn without any trouble. So I think I'm gonna catch you guys when I get back there. This is gonna be quite a little bit of a drive. Alright, and we are basically back at the barn. We just have to crawl up this hill and pull into the driveway over here. This has been quite a long drive, and I did stop for gas because we were quite low actually, because I never actually filled this car with gas since we got it running, so that is actually very economical. So yeah, we did have a little bit of trouble with the tire mounter. I managed to wedge it onto the trailer like this because it kept sliding backwards, so hopefully we'll be able to get it off now without any trouble. So yeah, I'm gonna grab my moving tool and see if we can get this thing off. This is quite a stubborn machine, but yeah, I did manage to get it off the trailer. It's just what a heavy little thing this. But I think if we put it down over here, this is pretty much where it's gonna stay now for quite some time. Alright, so for the engine stand, I'm thinking of allocating this little space over here for it, so that we can start working on engines, because I do want to have a look at this V8 engine that came out of the other Pontiac Firebird. Alright, so let's grab this one, and yeah, I'm just gonna move it basically more or less in position. I think if we put it like let's make it face that way. Alright, that looks not too bad. So yeah, we should be able to manage with it over there. But that is pretty much everything sorted. So now we can probably dig into that Firebird and see if we can get it running again. Because I was maybe just lucky getting it started up the other day. So I guess we'll see. So I also want to ask, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider doing so. I will appreciate it very much. And also drop some suggestions down below. What do you guys think we should do with the Pontiac Firebirds? Should we try and just get them barely running and try and sell them as is, or should we go full on restoration, getting all the rust removed, get it all fixed up perfect, in other words, and try and see if we can turn a bigger profit? So yeah, drop some comments down below and we will definitely have a look at it. Alright, so I'm thinking at the moment I'm just gonna put everything down over here. I don't know why I put this wheel rim over here, but we can just move it over here. There we go. Alright, I can probably open some more doors so that I can work a little bit better. So we are going to drop this battery into the Firebird soon, so I'm just going to put it on the table for now. Yeah, on the table for now. And then we'll try and get that thing fired up again soon. Alright, so let's drop these wheels off quickly and I will be right back. Alright, so we are done with offloading everything. So now we can bring this battery over to this Firebird. And let's see if this thing will fire up once again. Because I obviously drove it back here. Alright, so there we go. We are gonna see if this engine wants to turn over. Let me just maybe put this in my backpack for now. Alright, let's see if this thing will turn over again. Alright, there we go. Right, so here goes nothing. Give it a bit of gas. Alright, so yeah, she runs and she kind of drives. But she is very down on power. It's also a very noisy little car, this. And it doesn't really have brakes. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys that it is in fact running. It's not running very well, but yeah, it is running nonetheless. So what I want to do now is I want to have a look at that engine to see what it needs, and basically see if we can order the parts and maybe get it over here for the next episode, so that we can try and get this thing basically assembled. So if I can get this engine assembled, we can either build it into the Chevelle, or we can probably try and put it in one of the Firebirds. So yeah, that is where you guys will come in. You drop some comments down below. Tell me, what do you think we should do with this engine once we get this thing buttoned up? Should this go into the Chevelle? Should we try and put it in one of the Firebirds? Because we do have half an engine in here as well. So we could probably salvage some parts from here and try and get that engine complete. And then basically see if we can get it running. Because I think the inline 6 in that one will work if we just maybe service it and change a couple of odd parts. And then maybe try and build up an engine for this car. And then eventually we can rebuild the Chevelle. So I'm not too sure what we want to do here. Should we go with the inline 6 for basically both the Firebirds rather, and put the V8 in the Chevelle over here? So yeah, maybe give me some ideas down below. What do you guys think we should do? Because if we can get this engine assembled, we can try and fire this one up again as well. So I think this one actually has oil in it. So from what I can tell, this basically just needs an intake manifold. And I think there was a thermostat housing over here. So you know what, let me try this. I'm gonna see if I can get this intake manifold of this engine put onto this one, and let's slap the battery in this and see if this thing will start up. I think that is gonna be an idea, because we do have oil in this engine the last time I checked, so that is good. So if I put an intake manifold on this, and maybe, yeah, I don't know if we have a distributor. That's the other problem. Let me just see what parts we're gonna need. But I think if I can at least start putting parts together, this might actually end up being a complete engine. Okay, so we've got an alternator we can slap onto this engine. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is see if we can get this intake installed onto that engine. But we don't have a distributor, so that is something I'm going to have to put on my list. So yeah, this is what this episode will be about for the rest of the episode, just to see if we can find out what parts we need. Alright, let's just turn this a little bit. So we obviously need a flywheel, but I think we have some of these parts, so I'll just have to check. Okay, so this intake, can pop it on this engine. Alright, so basically we need spark plug wires, which I don't know if we have any. No, obviously we don't. Okay, so we do have the flywheel for the other engine and the clutch plate. We've got a valve cover there. That's a carburetor and air cleaner, but we don't have an intake for it. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna have to make a list of parts to get this engine running. I think it's not gonna be very far off, then this engine should actually fire up. So what I can tell, we need an ignition coil, need a distributor, need plug wires or plug leads, we need an alternator belt pretty much, and then obviously the radiator is missing from this car. So yeah, maybe if we get a radiator as well and both hoses, then this thing should actually be able to drive if we get everything sorted with the wheels and brakes. But I think my main priority will be to try and get this engine running. Although everything is a little bit rusty, I've got faith in this old machine, because I'm sure this thing will fire up once everything is connected up. Because these old V8s, they go forever if you know what you're doing around them. Alright, but I think that will be a wrap for this episode. So yeah, definitely hit that thumbs up if you were enjoying these episodes that I've been putting out on the roleplay series. And also, yeah, remember to drop those comments down below. What do you think we should do with the engine that we are trying to get running? So if we can get this engine running, the V8, this can probably go in the Chevelle. We can put this engine in this Firebird, get this Firebird running, because we know our Chevelle engine is running. We also know that engine is running sort of in that Firebird. So yeah, I just need a little bit of ideas, guys. So drop some comments down below and we'll see what we can do, because I think finding parts for this model would be easier than finding parts for the other one. But that all depends, we'll see. But yeah, I think until the next time, cheerio.